Good morning and a warm welcome along to Racing News. Lots to get through over the course of the next half hour, but there is, of course, only one place to start, and that is with the story dominating the headlines this morning, that Barry Geraghty has been announced as the new retained rider to owner JP McManus. After months of speculation, it's been announced that the two-time Irish champion jockey will fill the role previously occupied, of course, by the 20-time champion A.P. McCoy. That is splashed over the papers this morning. Baz the Man, say The Sun. The Times also picking up the story. Geraghty new #1 for McManus, and he's received Tony McCoy's backing as well. McCoy backs Geraghty to shine as his successor, and Henderson says Geraghty the ideal man for JP. Of course, it will mean he will have to relinquish his role as retained rider at Seven Barrows to Nicky Henderson, a role he took over in 2008 from Mick Fitzgerald. And I'm delighted to welcome Mick himself onto the programme now to reflect on this news. For many, Mick, it was the decision we were expecting. Was there really anyone else in the running? Was it in any way a surprise that Barry Geraghty was the man chosen?
I don't think there's many people surprised when the announcement was made. And, you know, I just think Barry and JP McManus have got previous. And it's very, very hard to get away from that, Gina. You know, you've got somebody who has already ridden a champion hurdle winner for you, already ridden a world hurdle winner for you, already, you know, ridden a winner when You'll Never Walk Alone won back in, I can't even remember what year it was that long ago. You know, that'll tell you how long ago the two have been partners in crime almost, because you know, they've got a strong success rate. And Barry is very much the go-to man in the big races nowadays. And when you've got that much history with somebody, it's very hard to walk away from that. And JP McManus is, you know, he's always of the opinion, why do you want a guy who is that successful riding against you when you can have him riding for you? And I think that's very much the case with this.
And talking of history, he has a lot of that with Nicky Henderson. You know how important that role will have been to him. How easy a decision do you think it will have been for him to walk away from that?
Very, very difficult, because Barry's enjoyed some great years with Nicky Henderson. And Nicky is a gentleman to have any dealings with. You know, there's no crosswords. He doesn't make your life difficult. It's a pleasure to work with him. And that won't be lost on Barry, because he'll know that for a few years now he's had a nice time of it, and a very successful time, because Nicky has turned out big winner after big winner. And it will have made the decision difficult for Barry, but at the same time, JP McManus he's trying to have good horses running in all the good races, and Barry's got a choice to make. Do I want to be part of that success story, or do I want to just go for the comfort zone? And Barry's gone for the, you know, he's gone for the big job.
Mick, it's been reported that he's going to continue living in Ireland as he has done before. How much of a lifestyle change do you think it's going to be for him?
Not much at all, because Barry's done the commuting thing quite well, and you know, he's become a past master at it almost, because he knows how long it takes him to get from racecourse to airport. And let's face it, nowadays with modern travel, it's sometimes easier to fly from Ireland to ride over here than it is to get from Lambourne, say, to Ayr. You know, it's a much easier trip. The same with a lot of things now. You know, the transport system that's in place just makes Barry's job a lot easier. I think it'll be a great result for everybody. And don't be surprised if Barry still rides a bit for Nicky Henderson as well, because, you know, let's face it, JP McManus has got plenty of horses with Nicky, so, you know, Nicky won't see the back of him.
And Mick, obviously Nico de Bonville has been quoted as 1 to 2 to replace Barry Geraghty at Nicky Henderson's. Who do you think is in running for that job?
Well, I think Nico has stepped up to the mark. He showed himself to be perfectly capable of doing the big job on the big day with his Gold Cup win on Coneygree. Now, that's a huge boost for Nico's career, you know, because you can't turn around and say, oh, well, you know, he hasn't ridden big winners. He's won one of the biggest prizes of them all in the Gold Cup. So, you know, it's going to make Nicky's job to turn around and say to all his owners, look, I'd like Nico to ride the horse. Well, then, you know, if you've got a guy who's won a Gold Cup, you're not going to turn your nose up at him. He's a real team player, and I think Nicky will use a lot of his lads as well. You know, he was really keen to promote all of the guys in the stable, and I think they'll get an awful lot of rides between them.
So do you think it's possible that he might just sit and not appoint a retained jockey as such?
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they just see how things go. And Nico de Boinville, like I've said, he's proved himself capable of doing the job on the big day. And Nicky likes that. He loves the fact that Nico's been with him from the start. And Nico, I would be quite happy to use Nico if it was me.
And what about some of these horses that Barry's got to look forward to? You touched upon a few of them because we've still got the likes of Jeski, more of that to come back. I mean, Gilgamboa. Are there any in particular that you think if you were in that position you'd be really itching to get on board?
I'd be itching to get on board them all, Gina. That'll tell you the quality that they've got. And I think as well it's the fact that they're not sitting on their hands as well. You know, Frank Berry and the team behind JP McManus, they'll be keen to get more and more. And I think, you know, really challenge the likes of Gigginstown and Rich Ritchie with all those big horses. Because, you know, let's face it, you know, JP McManus has had plenty of success and nobody would begrudge him more.
And we've seen from the headlines that AP has given his backing to the decision to appoint Barry. Mick, you've been playing a lot of golf with the champ. How's he getting on? He's in great form, Gina. He really is. And, you know, he seems to be enjoying his life as a retired jockey. And, you know, I think it's fairly safe to say that he's earned a little bit of time off. He looks really well. And he's very much he seems to be very much on the social scene at the moment. So he's enjoying himself. Well, we've certainly been enjoying seeing plenty of him, that's for sure. Mick, thank you so much for your thoughts, and fingers crossed for Barry for the season ahead. Oh, I have no doubts. Barry Geraghty's more than capable. He'll be all right.